And welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. This is just a wee quick Wednesday afternoon, late afternoon update on a few transfers out of Celtic, 3 more transfers potentially out of Celtic to follow, and a wee bit of news regarding a couple of other Celtic players as we stand a couple of days away from our first pre-season friendly against Queen's Park on Friday. Yesterday, Celtic confirmed 2 players had left the club. Greg Taylor has signed a 2 or 3 year contract with PAOK in Greece and has completed all the paperwork and his medical and is full of enthusiasm helping PAOK back to the top of Greek football. They were champions 2 seasons ago, but lost out to Olympiacos, where Luis Palma was on loan last season, and they're intending getting back to top of Greek football, and that is one of the reasons that Greg Taylor gave for leaving Celtic. Nothing very convincing in the reasons he left Celtic. However, I have to say, has been a very good servant for Celtic. Greg Taylor, now 27 years old, 14 Scotland caps, 6 years at Celtic, 11 honours with Celtic, 5 leagues, 3 Scottish Cups and 3 Scottish League Cups. He had a good season for Celtic last season. His average rating was 7.19 out of 10. He played a total of 43 games for Celtic in all competitions, 1 goal and 8 assists. And over his 6 seasons at Celtic, 216 games, 9 goals, 33 assists, which is pretty good for a fullback. And prior to that, of course, he was at Kilmarnock, 131 games, 1 goal and 10 assists. Taylor always rather suspect in terms of his defensive ability. He was caught out on a regular basis by players getting in behind him. Wasn't the best defender, very poor in the air, was quite a liability with high balls into the box and corners and long throws, etc. However, he was a very good attacking fullback, made the inverted fullback role on the left-hand side all his own, and there may be 1 or 2 wee tweaks to Celtic's style, formation, tactics this season, with the swap from Greg Taylor to presumably Kieran Tierney as our first choice left back. Other player to leave the club yesterday was Daniel Cummings. He was in the Celtic Academy and B team. He turned down several very good contracts with Celtic to extend his career at Celtic and has instead chosen to go to West Ham. Celtic will receive some form of compensation deal, maybe £300,000 or £400,000, and I would expect Cummings at West Ham will instead be sent off on loan or maybe confined to their under-21 side, and so I don't really see the sense of Daniel Cummings choosing to leave Celtic to go to West Ham. However, I wish him all the luck and hope his career goes well, unlike most of the players who've left Celtic at a similar stage, with the exception, of course, of Ben Doak. A few other players supposedly are being lined up to leave Celtic. Nicolas Coon. It would appear that Red Bull Leipzig are increasing their interest in him. Celtic and Leipzig appear to have been in negotiations. Leipzig are willing to pay a fee of around £15 million. Celtic apparently holding out for a fee of £17 million. It does appear that a few of the other clubs who had been looking at buying Kuhn this summer, such as Newcastle and Como, have decided to pull out, and so at the moment it does appear that Red Bull Leipzig are the only team looking at signing Kuhn, although Brentford might come back in for him depending on whether they lose any further players from their squad. One of the more certain deals appears to be the deal to take Gustav Lagerbielke to SC Braga in Portugal. It's thought that Lagerbielke will be making his way across to Portugal for a medical at the end of this week to sign for them for a fee thought to be around about 1.7 million. And so it looks like Celtic will be losing maybe around about 1.5 million or so on the deal that brought Lagerbielke to Celtic a couple of summers ago. Slightly surprising news is that Celtic are in discussions with Legia Warsaw regarding our South Korean wide player Yang. It appears this is going to be a season-long loan rather than a permanent transfer. But at this point, the details are rather sketchy and preliminary. I do wonder whether sending Yang off on loan is a sign that Rodgers is going to give one or both of Luis Palma and Marco Tilio a good go in the squad up to the winter window until hopefully Jota is back. Or it may be a sign that Rodgers has another winger or two up his sleeve to sign this summer. We'll see over the next couple of weeks just whether Yang does in fact leave to go off to Legia Warsaw in Poland or elsewhere, or whether he stays at the club, and just how Rodgers sorts out all the wide players currently in his squad. Quite a bit of speculation in the press over the last 24 hours regarding Cameron Carter-Vickers. He hasn't returned to training with Celtic. The club had said that Cameron Carter-Vickers was simply getting an extra week of summer holidays, which would be pretty reasonable as he did have quite an intensive season last season with little or no break between the 23-24 and 24-25 season because of the Copa America being played in the United States of America last summer. He was given the summer off by the American national side, as was the case for Austin Trusty. However, a lot of people are reading into the fact that Cameron Carter-Vickers has had an extra week of holiday to say that he's had an operation on his toe or that he's struggling with a new injury. However, there doesn't appear to be any actual objective, real evidence for this, and it seems to be simply lots of speculation and people creating stories, possibly to get clicks on their YouTube channels and internet channels or to sell their newspapers online. As I was saying at the start of the video, Celtic are playing their first pre-season friendly in a couple of days' time against Queen's Park. Does look like Celtic will be playing an understrength team, as there are still quite a few players on their summer holidays. Luis Palma still involved with international football with Honduras. And the full squad really will not be back playing for us until probably next week or even later. And so could well be quite a number of the academy and B team players playing a role on Friday against Queen's Park. No other significant Celtic news as we stand late on Wednesday afternoon, and so we'll call a finish to it there. Just a wee polite suggestion, encouragement as we finish off the video. To all those new to the channel, not yet subscribed, please do click that subscribe button. 1 or 2 new subscribers every day does make me so happy, and so keep on clicking that subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed. Do keep on spreading the good news of the Celtic David 67 channel to fellow friends, family, Celtic fans and football fans, and do feel free to pop your own thoughts into the comment section regarding the players leaving Celtic and those being lined up to leave Celtic and any other Celtic issues at the moment. And so until the next video, goodbye and hail, hail.